Trey. This is my wife, Coco. That's Goddess. This is Sunday. This is Christian. This is Baby Eden. And we are...
the Steamer Step Out!
Woo! So today, guys, we are going to be talking about...
relocating to Colorado. Yay!
But Goddess has something to remind you of, guys.
Make sure you guys turn on the notification, subscribe, and give us a huge thumbs up.
So, we have recently decided to well, not recently. We've been talking about relocating to Colorado for years now. And like now is the time. Our lease is about to be over. We've already left our city that we grew up in and moved to another city in our same state. And so now, stop it. And so now we feel like we got enough courage to branch out. So I am interviewing with several companies, and I should be getting an offer within the next week or so. And so right now, what this video is going to be about is why we want to leave where we're from, which is Texas, and move to Colorado. And so we have like 5 main reasons. And then afterwards, we will talk about like the steps that we're taking to actually do it.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is...
number 1.
Right. What's our first reason, Goddess?
Scenery, people.
So, guys...
Oh, Lord, there's a bunch of children. Hold on.
Yeah, just...
get on the move, Mama.
We'll be back.
Pause.
Pause.
All right, guys, we're back. 2 children less.
The big children.
They got sleepy. So, just us 4 tonight. So, babe, go ahead and...
Okay, so like where we left off, the number 1 reason that we're leaving is scenery. We live in Texas, and so we'll talk about like the reasons why we want to go. Well, and we live in Texas, and there's not a lot of scenery. We're from Houston, which we love our city, but we grew up there, and there isn't a lot of scenery. It's nothing but really city. And so like even though we like the city, like Denver, Aurora area, it's like city and scenery. So it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Like here, it's just, you know, we moved from Houston to Beaumont. And so in Houston, it's nothing but city. And then in Beaumont, it's just like, for like we're telling, I'm sorry if you're from Beaumont, but it's just a little dirty looking.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's more or less out here, a lot of open land, a lot of like deserty, you know, kind of hot. So
yeah, all the time.
Colorado has amazing scenery. There's mountains, 360. Snow.
Yeah, there's snow. And a whole bunch of active things.
Yes.
So
I want to go to Colorado.
So that's one of our main, one of our first reasons that we would love to move to Colorado.
What's number 2?
What is number 2?
Weather. No.
Weather.
Yeah. Weather.
Yes. With the weather, it's like hot all the time, and then when it's not hot, it's like hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, which is like a breeding ground for like illnesses and all kinds of stuff.
So like it's switching. But it's summer.
Right. And so the problem with that is like we don't get to see, like my children have never seen like the 4 seasons gradually change. I haven't seen that since I was a child. Like I haven't seen the
like
leaves fall
change,
off the tree, leaves change.
Autumn into to spring. I think like this year, and I think what was it, 2010 was really the only years I remember us having like a real winter. Last year, actually, not this year. Last year, and then like it was 2010 where we had snow. Both those years. It was actually 2017 and 2010. But other than that, like our winters are hot. Christmases be like 80 degrees.
2009, because that's the
2009, right? Because that's when Goddess was born.
House, our dad made a snowman.
Yeah, because it rained. It was cold last year.
It was cold last year, so
but it's because we had that hurricane.
Yeah, and so like the weather's so up and down here that like you really don't really get to enjoy, and it's mostly hot. Really, it's not even like that we go through a winter spell. It'd be fine if it was like winter for a little bit, but it's like in the week it could rain, hail, snow, tornado, like all in the week, and it's
too much.
Yeah, we've been living in Texas all our lives, and it's really old at this point. So weather in Colorado will provide us, you know,
more of an active lifestyle.
Yeah. I think so too. So
like we've recently gotten like really into health and just like trying to just live a healthier lifestyle and food choices and being active. And we noticed that like we're not the type of people that's gonna like go to the gym. We prefer to exercise like outside if we can. And so in Colorado you do have a winter where we won't probably be able to exercise outside. Right. But here it's almost like a health hazard because 90% of the year is hot.
Yeah.
And it's humid hot.
Yeah.
So like it's pretty impossible.
Lack of better terms, it's just unbearable at times.
Yeah, so. It really is.
Which brings us to our third reason why we would like to move to Colorado, which is
new beginnings.
Why?
We're
new
traveling.
Beginnings.
Yes.
So,
but at our old house.
I think that for us, the new beginnings for us is kind of what it says, new beginnings, but. For us, we've been, like we said, we've been living in Texas I'm 20, I'll be 27 this year, so it'll be 27 years. Should be 29 this year. We grew up in Texas, kind of a couple spots in Houston, but it's all the same. And so we have 4 kids now, and she's always expressed getting out. Traveling was kind of like her first dream when we first got married, and I had never been anywhere. She had been like all over the U.S. and Canada and, everywhere. So I just think that once we went to New Mexico on our anniversary. That opened up my mind. And then it just brought us full circle into, we don't really want our kids to grow up where we grew up. Kind of like
new roots,
right. So that for us, for Colorado, represents that for us. Just somewhere that they can call home and not where we grew up. We've always said we're going to, try our best as parents to give our kids the life that we never had. And so, I think that this is an opportunity that we can seize and, can actually do that with our family. Number 4.
Wait.
Health.
I think health ties in with weather because she and him or him and her have very bad bronchial asthma. And with the humidity, it just really irritates it. And so it's getting to that point where she's older and she really can't be as active as she wants to be because she could irritate it and not, and then have asthma attacks. And then with him, it's the other way. Like as he's starting to get older in life and, he's grown into his man body, he's not. So just like getting older, them both, in ways, it's just starting like the humidity is just becoming too much. Like almost every year, they are sick. Like, and since we moved to Beaumont, like it's even been worse. So it's not that we don't like Houston, but we don't want to go back to Houston from Beaumont because we've been there our whole life, and it's really not the home that we remember.
Right.
It's kind of like Denver. How you see people in Denver saying how they are so irritated with people like migrating to the city because the legalization of marijuana. It's like the cost of living has caused so many people to migrate to Houston. The cost of living ain't even that great anymore. And then it's just like, it's not what you grew up in. It's just becoming like a hub for just like, it's not, in my opinion, anymore a good place to raise a family.
Right, yeah.
So that's the reason why we kind of chose to take the opportunity to branch out into Beaumont, which, like I don't particularly care for Beaumont, but I feel like if I had to choose between Houston and Beaumont to raise a family, I would definitely choose Beaumont. It's more family based.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's not that we care about being in a big city, but when we came to Beaumont, I guess because it's closer to the Gulf, the humidity and the allergens are even worse. And then there's a lot of oil plants out here as well.
So pollution is really high out here.
Right. So that's making it even worse.
Air quality sucks.
Right. And so at this point, it's just getting like this year. I feel like that's the most that you've been sick. Him and her have been sick.
I've been sick a lot this year.
In our 10 years of almost 10 years of marriage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, as she gets older and like she's like, oh, I want to go to dance because I want to go check on it. Like she can't do all of that because the fear of her getting sick. So we were advised that a drier climate would be better for them. And so that was really the last push to say like, okay, well, we want to go to Colorado, which leads us into the 5th reason of it's just always been our dream place to live. It's always been my dream place to live. And every time I tell somebody this is my dream place to live, they think that I'm saying, oh, because of the legalization of marijuana. No, I've wanted to live there since way before they legalized weed. Like, I think it's always been my dream place.
Since I could ever remember, guys, we've been married almost 9 years. We've been together 10. I mean, since the beginning, she's always said Colorado. And I never had been anywhere. So I was just like, what's really like in Colorado, you know? But I tell you what, when we went to New Mexico, as I mentioned earlier, man, did it open up my eyes. And I was like, Colorado it is. And I don't know, it's kind of weird too, because we've always just felt this tug in there.
Yeah, like
we've never been yet. So we're going to vlog.
I've been there several times.
Oh, yeah, you have. Yeah. I've never been yet. So as we continue to kind of go, you know, through this journey and y'all come with us, we'll kind of vlog, you know, our first experiences when we get out there and things like that. But we've always just felt this pull there. Like, you know, like it's always just been our special place. So.
Bless you.
Yeah, that's, you know.
God bless the truth, right?
Yeah. And that's just really what it is. It's number 5. We just always felt like that's our dream place to move.
I love like mountains.
Yeah,
I'm all about the mountains.
Definitely.
Yeah, some of us are scared of heights.
Yeah, like me. I'm kind of scared of heights.
Daddy! No,
I am.
But I have never been on a hike.
You never been up high?
No.
Yeah, we don't really like to do heights. So. But it's okay because I'm short and I don't really need to be that high up anyway. But I will tell you this though, we did go on top of a mountain, overlooked the whole city. We was like 12,000 feet in the air. Not gonna lie, the ride up was shaky. Your boy was like, you know. But once I got up there, I was like, yeah, okay. I see what the whole scenery thing is about, you know. But
I think like they have to like climb.
So I think like whenever we started doing research to say, all right, let's see like what this move would be like. A lot of stuff that I was expecting to hear from people that's relocating, I didn't hear. And that's like, what did you do to look for jobs in another state? How do you know how much money you need to make in that other state in order to provide for your family size? Like, what is housing like, both if you want to buy a house or if you want to rent or rent an apartment? What is the cost of food like? A big thing that people don't ever talk. Christian, really? You want to go play?
No.
Okay. A big thing that people don't ever talk about, like when you were moving from Texas to Colorado, Texas doesn't have a state income tax, but Colorado does. Yeah. So that's something to take into consideration when you're thinking about how much money I need to make, because in Texas, you pay federal income taxes and that's it. Well, if you're considering what you're making now, you're like, okay, I can make the same amount of money and I know that I can make it off of it. No, you won't, because you'll be missing 4.63% of that of what you're making. So that, and then some places have county taxes as well. So that's something to consider. The cost of food, that's something to consider. And this is going to sound super ratchet, but if you are like on any type of government assistance, when you move, especially if you're moving from a more expensive place to a less expensive place, the amount of like money that you have to make or the bracket changes. Mm-hmm. So we are not on any government assistance, but that's something that I looked into because I know how it works here. If I was to fall on some type of hard time, like what I would need to do to walk through that process. So that's something to consider as well. Like different laws in other places. Like, you know, there's different laws everywhere you go. Those things are state things. There's some federal laws, but then there's a lot of state laws. So, for instance, like the legalization of marijuana, it's legal there, but it's not legal here. So, if you are like considering going the opposite way, there's something to consider because you're used to a certain type of lifestyle. To you know, and then when you go to a different place, you might not necessarily have that. Like school systems, when you have children, like how is this state ranked in the United States? Like, is it a better ranking state when it comes to education or not? And so a lot of stuff that I'll be talking about on this journey for me and with my husband are those type of things and how they actually like affected us when we made the transition and how we made the transition. Like, was it better? Did we decide like as of right now, we want to move all of our things because we just bought new furniture. But if it comes down to we got to sell all of our things so we can make it an easy transition, like how was it easier and why did I choose to make that decision? And then, you know, like employment, do I feel like it was easier to get a job there or was it easier to get a job here? Like that type of stuff. So I think a lot of things that I was looking for in videos I didn't really find on YouTube. And so I'm going to be careful to like make sure I document those type of things.
Enough. Right.
Yeah. And then like for a family of our size, we have 6 people in our family. So like, do I go first? Do he, you know, that type of stuff we're going to talk about. And then when I go like either house or apartment hunting, I'm going to be really thorough on like how I feel the cost of housing is against what I'm actually bringing home and making. So that's another thing. Like, and then also, I don't know if people really realize when you look for houses and things, like the structural build of things are different. Like when you leave the South and when you go to the West Coast or the North or the East Coast, all of that's different. So I'm going to be talking about all of that. I'm about to give the mommies all the tea. If y'all don't know what that is because y'all in a different state, the tea is like all of the information, all of the scoop, all of the business. All of the information. For all of my, I'm about to give all, and then I will be. We will be allowing our children later on to talk about how the transition was for them. Yeah, because that was another thing I was looking for. But she's about to be 10 this month, and she's 7. She'll be 8 in October, and they're both very intelligent, and so is our 3-year-old. So I'll be like allowing them to tell what the transition was like for them, like going to school. Another thing to consider is like in Texas, our kids go to school 5 days a week, and Colorado they go to school 4 days a week. Ooh, so you know what I mean? That's a different thing. So I think that was a huge thing that I found out. Like my husband works from home and is essentially a stay-at-home dad because he's able to be there with the kids. But I think like if you're like a single parent relocating or if you're a family where both parents work outside the home, like that would be huge because that means that's a day of daycare you got to pay for if you're working a regular 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. And a lot of people use public school or school as a means of pretty much daycare, like a place for their kids to be that safe, you know, outside of school. I mean, outside of when they're at work. So, I mean, if you're relocating and then you run into, oh my God, like who's going to watch my kid on this 5th day? That could be like a major setback financially and like, especially in work. So I'll be covering all of that. So y'all stay tuned. I'm taking y'all on my first grocery shopping trip. Yeah, everything. I'm taking y'all on. I'll even do some things like I'll do some things like. You guys do not want to see her grocery trip. I'll take y'all guys on some things like oil changes, snow tires, and things for our vehicle, things around the house. You know, we'll take you guys pretty much along the journey, and just we'll vlog. You know, our daily life. We're a family of 6. And we're just going to make sure that we keep you guys in the loop, and so y'all follow along with us. If you have questions, please put them down below because I'm about to answer every single question. And also, I feel like asking the questions that you may ask may make me think, oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Because it's been a lot like throughout this time. Another thing to do is, man, hit that notification bell, y'all. So you never miss a video, okay? Yeah. Subscribe. And just thank y'all. We just want to thank y'all for following along. Welcome into our lives. We are the Steamers Step Out once again. We love you guys. Thanks.